How has school changed for you?
I think just getting used to not being able to see my students every day, building those relationships, having that camaraderie, and just being able to talk to them as much as I'm used to.
How has school changed for you?
School has made me way more patient because having to transition to virtual and now we're back doing hybrid learning, I've had to really get more patient and understanding and trying to just, let go of the things I cannot control. So I would say patience.
How has school changed for you?
I mean, it's changed almost every way this year, just from having to completely adapt how I teach my classes to reaching out and trying to make a connection with students is much harder now. I think this year has definitely been the hardest of my years I've ever taught. It's kind of hard to narrow down exactly because everything's changed.
So since the beginning of COVID, the biggest change, obviously, we went, going online was, in a way, a taste of what education might look like in the future for more and more students. But, to be forced on us like that was a really weird experience. Yeah.
What's something you missed about having students in person?
Yeah, I guess kind of just piggybacking on that first question, just being able to see the kids in the hallway, assemblies, being able to see you guys hanging out in the Ramada, like when Sugo would have like the music and just different things that Sugo would do. And I think just the biggest thing, right, is that the building feels empty without as many students as we're used to. So that's definitely one of the things.
What's something you missed about having students in person?
I've kind of mentioned a little bit in the other question, but just being able to build that connection with students, having that classroom environment where we can have conversations that aren't necessarily always about school, and having that back and forth, seeing smiling faces every day, like building that community rather than just me talking to like a camera every day, and not always getting that feedback and interaction of how everybody's understanding everything.
What's something you missed about having students in person?
I miss the interaction. I love my students. I love to talk with them, joke with them, right? Share stories and laugh. So I definitely miss the interaction with my students.
How is it to have a classroom with kids again?
It's fantastic. I do appreciate the kids that did make the choice to come back in person. I wish that we would have more, just so that a lot of like the group work and a lot of the relationship building we're able to do. And then obviously dealing with like technology issues, whether it's the computer or the Wi-Fi, is sometimes frustrating, but we make it through.
How is it to have a classroom with kids again?
I was extremely excited to get back and have kids in the room again. It was just the other day, just something, tiny funny thing happens in class, and actually hearing students laugh back at it and not just be met with the silence, and just having the chance to be able to go around the room to the students and help them individually and make sure that they are staying on track and getting the support that they need.
How is it to have a classroom with kids again?
It's awesome. They're finally starting to talk to me. I feel like I'm talking to the wall half the time because they're so used to on their computers, but I think I'm breaking them in a little bit, so it's awesome having them in. I don't feel like I'm crazy talking to a computer all day. I just have bodies in the room, so it's been good.
How has online school affected your lesson planning?
I think just making sure, or I think the biggest thing is I took technology for granted before because we were all in the same room, but now I have to make sure that everyone can access the website or can remember the password, and just making sure that we're more thorough in the way that we're doing things instead of just kind of, okay, 1, 2, 3 steps, but taking it slower.
How has online school affected your lesson planning?
Interestingly enough, it's actually probably made me a little bit better of a lesson planner. I've gotten a lot more organized with my things, getting all the notes uploaded digitally, and having the stuff that now in the future I'll be able to fall back on and see, here's exactly what I did on this day with these kids, and see, well, maybe this didn't work or this did. And I think it's helped me become a lot more organized and direct with my lesson planning, actually.
How has online school affected your lesson planning?
Oh my gosh, when we first came back after summer and had to transition all my lessons to virtual lessons, I spent hours. But now I think I've gotten down and now everything's in place, and my lesson planning, I think, I think it's gotten better because I had to consider multiple things maybe that I didn't have to consider before. And definitely the technology piece has helped me, I think, as a teacher. Forcing me to use more technology, I think, is also good.
So what is it that you're doing right now?
Sorting the costumes into groups that go together so that they can be boxed and stored in rooms.
How has it been coming back to work for you and your program?
I missed being in the theater and the drama room more than anything. So being with the students, even though we can't do everything that we used to do, at least being able to talk to them face to face has made a real difference in just like my day and how I feel about my job. And I'm sure it makes a difference in the students who are here and their day and how they feel about school. And I'm really, really excited that at least some of my students this year have gotten to see the theater in person, at least have a look at it, and sit in the drama room to do their work. So even though we can't do everything, I'm really happy to just be physically back in this space because this space is like home to me.